Jane, tell us who you are and what your role is at Church House.
Hi, I'm Jane Hemmings. I'm part of the DDO team. I'm the Director of Ordinands for Dorchester and bits of Oxford, and I love my job.
Excellent. And you come with dyslexia. So can you tell us a little bit about what dyslexia is and when you first knew, really, that you were dyslexic?
Dyslexia is an issue with reading, writing, and remembering, I would say. It's difficult to decode words. It's difficult to spell them. It can sometimes be difficult to say them, and it's difficult to remember them. So when I'm reading something, I don't necessarily remember the details, but if somebody tells me something, I remember it for life.
Interesting. And how does it impact you at work?
I write a lot of reports, so that's more complicated. It means it takes me longer. Accuracy is a difficult thing. Spell check is a wonderful thing, so is Grammarly. So I have just had to come to terms with the fact that I will make mistakes and I have to go back and check.
When did you first start telling other people that you were dyslexic and how did that feel?
I actually started telling people when I started my curacy, even though I hadn't been diagnosed at that stage. I'd always been suspicious that I was dyslexic because I used to find things very difficult at school, and yet I kind of understood quite a lot of things, but I couldn't write them all down. And I was often being told that I was lazy because I clearly understood things, but I was lazy when it came to writing them down.
And we've talked a lot about the words sort of shame and stupidity that often comes with people who are dyslexic until they find a tribe who can say, you're neither, this is a literal thing. You talk a bit about that?
Well, there was plenty of stupid at school. The funny thing is my parents were often told that they shouldn't expect too much from me and that I would be doing something vocational. So I don't think this is quite what they had in mind.
And then when church leaders are sitting in their churches and looking at what they do and how they do it, the spoken word, the written word, what have you, and wondering how they can make it better for folks who are dyslexic, what are some of the easy wins, the top tips that you would suggest?
Easy wins are to have things clearly stated. Bizarrely, even though we're not blind, bigger print can help in the processing. Not too much information, and everything to be in advance if possible so that you have time to look at it beforehand. Sight reading is very difficult for people with dyslexia.
And do you feel that it hampers you being dyslexic, or are there aspects of dyslexia that actually bring more out of you and bring more to a team and to a workplace?
In terms of what I do, it's a benefit in that I have an extraordinary emotional memory. So I sit down and talk to people and I can remember things that they tell me, not necessarily things I've read about them, but things that they tell me I can remember. I also have, dyslexia kind of gives you a visual narrative, and I have a kind of visual strategy and idea of what I'm doing. So despite the fact that often people with dyslexia are considered disorganised, I'm very organised because I have a visual map of everything I do in my head. And I probably look a little bit chaotic in the way that I'm doing things, but I get them all done.
And the people that would say, well, surely to be rid of dyslexia will be better so we can pray it away, what would your response be?
It's a really useful, creative part of my brain. In fact, I was doing some training in dyslexia, and it said before everybody could go to school and read and write, dyslexia must have been a superpower because you have such creative skills and problem-solving skills that everybody would have wanted to employ the dyslexic because reading and writing wasn't really a thing for most people.
Jane, thank you for sharing with us.